The SAFE exam is broken down into 5 components. Federal mortgage-related laws is 24%. General mortgage knowledge is 20%. Mortgage loan origination activities consists of 27%. Ethics constitutes 18%. And the uniform state content section is 11%. Now, it's important to understand that the exam is not present in the order that you see. The questions are randomly populated onto the exam. So you could start off with a federal law question, followed by a USC question, followed by an ethics question, followed by 3 general mortgage knowledge questions. There's no defined order. Suffice it to say, however, that 24% of the SAFE exam is all about federal mortgage-related laws. Now, it's important to understand that although that is less than a quarter of the content of the SAFE exam, it is the foundation and cornerstone of the exam. You could be rock solid in GMK, MLOA, ethics, and USC, but score poorly in federal laws, you won't pass the exam. You have to be solid in the federal law area in order to pass this exam. Now, there are 20, yes, I know that sounds like a lot, but it is what it is. There are 20 federal laws, rules, and regulations with which you must be familiar and on which you could be tested. Now, unfortunately, there's no way I can simplify 20 federal laws in a video that's only a few minutes long. But what I can tell you is that to best prepare for this exam, you should apply the following federal law study strategies to each of the 20 federal laws, rules, and regulations on which you can be tested and should expect to be tested. Number 1, you want to understand what is the regulation's purpose and origin. So in other words, what's the point of the regulation? Why was it created? Why do we have it? What does it do? What is that identifying alphabetical letter, if applicable? For example, the Fair Credit Reporting Act is implemented via Regulation V, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, implemented under Regulation B, and so on and so forth. And you should also know the year in which it was enacted. Number 2, what are the regulation's applications? In other words, to what does the regulation apply? And if we're going to go in that direction, you should also be familiar with what are the regulation's exemptions? In other words, to what does the regulation not apply? Then come the definitions. Each regulation has associated regulatory definitions with which you should be familiar. Following that are the disclosures. Each regulation is associated with specific disclosures. And when learning the disclosure, there are 2 sub-strategies to consider. A, what is a disclosure all about? So Google it, find a PDF version, print it off, familiarize yourself with the disclosure. But also B, what are its issuance and, when applicable, its reissuance requirements? And last but not least, 6, what are the regulation's document retention requirements? That would be a good thing to know as well. Now, if you would like, you can reach out to me at the email address you see on your screen, and I will be happy to send you links to websites where you can get access to the various regulations that describe exactly what I just discussed with you. Very helpful. Happy to send it to you at no cost if you send me an email. Furthermore, if you want, I can also give you a couple other federal law study strategies, but you have to send me that email. You see it right there, info@axsdevelopment.com. Hope you found this video helpful. Good luck.